from New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ebro in the morning, beautiful Laura Styles, Rosenberg, my man Jolly, Jason Lee, Hip Hop Obama, Bossip on the program. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
So, we've communicated over the years.
Yes.
Because we met at some event and I was highly entertained by the headlines.
Thank you very much.
On Bossip. So you reached out, you told me you was going to be in town. I was like, yo, come on the show because we sit around in this room on Ebro in the morning and sometimes we go on the air and we'll just read the headlines on Bossip.
We appreciate that,
Headlines
man.
like Caucasity, audacity, soft-boiled ostrich egg, Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
Gets buried, burned, and blown away for Earth, Wind, and Fire cover.
Absolutely.
Love that.
I love the Rosenberg is reading this one.
Very strong. Freudian slippin'. Drunken and sunken Daniel Caesar defends Yes Jules and condemns black people for being too sensitive. Twitter kicks field goal through his Gollum-ish gap teeth.
Gotta have it.
Now that has layers because his album, Daniel Caesar, was called
Freudian.
And he made a slip. Like, there's layers to the
No, it's not. These actually are very...
Gollum-ish is pretty good.
Gollum-ish is
Pretty
crazy.
Nasty Boy. Faith Evans unabashedly reveals that she incomparably ate Biggie Small's Bed-Stuy backside. Was sweat trickling down his cheeks? We didn't need that last
That's
part.
a fair question.
But that's not
that's a fair question.
But usually a question doesn't come at the end of a headline.
Well, yeah, but sometimes you got to punch it up a little bit.
So how many of those did you actually write?
I wrote all of those. I wrote every single one of those.
And so does everyone contribute at Bossip to headlines, or are there people who do headlines and there's people who write?
Everybody who is a staff writer at Bossip writes their own headlines. We don't have a social media team per se. Most of the time on Twitter, it'll be me. It might be one or two other people, but everyone writes their own headlines. I'm not the only person who can do this foolishness. Like, everyone is applicable and available to write any type of this stuff.
Are you known around the office there as the guy with the pristine levels of foolishness, though? Because I know you, and your levels of foolishness.
Yeah, like, yo, I need some help with this one.
I'm probably one of them. I think there's like a few of us who just generally don't really come with the good sense that our mothers try to give us, and we just get on the computer and just say ridiculous things.
Now, before Bossip, you're a writer by trade?
No, actually, before Bossip, I was working with artists. I was in the music industry. Actually, my first music industry job was as Mario's personal assistant.
Mario, the
wow.
R&B
singer. Yes, the singer R&B singer.
You know what? This actually makes sense. Now I understand Bossip.
Now it makes more sense.
It makes it. What do you think the answer was going to be? Well, most of the Bossip staff came from Time or Newsweek first.
No, I thought maybe he could have been writing. He could have been writing for, I don't know, The Source. He could have been writing for another magazine, a hip hop magazine that went belly up. And
I say this with all due respect because I find you to be hilarious.
Thank you,
These
sir.
headlines are sincerely creative and hilarious. But this just proves that Ebro's never read a full article on Bossip. Never. No one came from writing full articles.
Well, no,
it's like, yo.
Yeah, but you would get to Bossip and you would stop doing that and start writing something else. But it's creative writing.
The headlines are really
it's a
good.
skill. Because you guys nail it every time. Like,
We do our best.
I read and sometimes I laugh out loud because it's so insane.
Thank you. No, but to the contrary though, everybody on staff, at least 3 or 4 people come from journalistic backgrounds. We're writers at XXL. We're writers at The Source. Our writers right now
Or freelancing
for mainstream publications, New York Times, Washington Post, all kind of places.
No, what happens to your life when you're at the New York Times or Washington Post and then you're writing
You want to
about
have fun.
sweaty butt
Yes.
cheeks?
You want to have fun.
They
called
called
fun.
They called us to talk to us.
Can I be honest, though? Y'all are being fraudulent. You guys are both being fraudulent.
What do you mean?
Okay, bring it on.
Because the headlines are fun, but we fucking hate the things they talk about on here.
It's
We hate all of it. It's polluting
We
the
didn't
culture.
say we like the site.
foolishness.
We like the headlines.
Right, but I'm just pointing
Bossip
out.
barely likes us. Jason
we don't
likes
even-
me.
we don't-
They don't support us at all.
That's what I was gonna say. So, like, I can tell I like him personally already. I'm not gonna sit here and say I think the writing's Pulitzer Prize winning.
We didn't
on
say
the-
that either.
We're gonna get one. We're gonna get one one day.
It's fun. It's funny. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I
Well,
mean?
here's the thing about it.
No, but we were sitting here being critical of Wendy Williams. This is Wendy Williams on the internet.
And that's a whole other thing, from the media takeouts to the Bossips to the YBFs to this whole culture definitely started with Wendy. And there is problems with it because it's become the lead thing in culture, right? And it's not balanced by intellect as often as we would like, right?
Well, that's what we
not
try to-
within Bossip. I just mean in the
in
greater,
general,
in the world.
right? Yeah, in the world.
greater-
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but Bossip serves a purpose. It's supposed to be junk.
well, the whole thing about it is most of the stuff that is this celebrity news, whether it's Wendy talking about it or whoever, it's all stupid. And it's all, most of these people putting themselves in these situations. So to me, if you're going to be on a reality TV show and play yourself to the degree that you're embarrassing yourself and your family, do you deserve to be mocked on the internet?
You know what? That's a good point. I will say this, because I have started checking it more regularly than I used to. And sometimes in my brain, I probably blur it with the way I used to view media takeout.
Right.
And whereas Bossip, you guys really do a lot of reality show things.
Yeah.
That are based on people who are like, put my life on
Put my
blast.
life up, put all my
That is-
Instagram.
that is
I'm
a
going to
very
argue on
good point.
Instagram, argue on Twitter, all these things. So you
guys
deserve.
you guys don't go. Does Bossip not go digging into people's
No,
real personal
not
lives?
really. Like,
I mean,
that's not really what our thing is. Like, people are scared. Some people are still scared of us because it's like, oh, I don't want this XYZ to get out. But my whole take on it has never been to, like, put people on blast. I'm going to make jokes the same way. I look at it like a comedian. Or a late night comedy writer. I'm going to take the fodder that's out in the world.
That's already out
That's
there.
already out there.
Got
I'm
it.
going to make jokes about this. I'm going to use literary devices and pop culture references and hip hop references, and I'm going to make jokes and poke fun at your stupid ass for doing things that are just stupid.
that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Now, there's some things that have become kind of almost catchphrases within Bossip headline writing.
Yeah.
Smithereens.
Oh man.
Who started
Yeah,
Smithereens?
Smash the Smithereens.
Smithereens was one of the OG like Bossip terms that we were using for a long time. And for whatever reason, one day people just realized like, oh, I like this. This is funny. Because we've been saying it for years.
You mean just saying it to each other?
No, in the headline, smashing
Okay.
the Smithereens. If you go back and search Smithereens on Bossip, you're going to get a lot in the query. But you'll see headlines from probably 2007, 8, 9 that say Smithereens.
Y'all been on your Smithereens
Smithereens
game
for a long
minute.
time, yeah. Actually, I think Webster, it was like the word of the day on Merriam-Webster's Twitter. You know, they do word of the day every day.
yeah,
And like
yeah.
our mentions were full of people talking about like, yo, that's Bossip's word. Like you
Y'all
gotta
got
put
Smithereens hot out here.
Yeah. Smithereens is hot in the streets now because someone's gonna do like a Smithereens
You guys-
clothing line or some like.
You
it's gonna
guys
be crazy.
also did Caucasity Audacity. That's
Oh
straight
yeah.
Bossip.
You got to. I mean, white people do a lot of crazy stuff nowadays.
Nowadays.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Since the dawn of time.
I mean, those. Yeah, that's the nowadays I'm talking about. Since like from the beginning.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Caucasity is not a word.
No, I don't think Caucasity is.
Caucasity. It just rhymes with
It is
audacity.
now.
Yeah, and I think it's easy enough to understand what you're
Yep,
talking about. As soon as you
exactly.
say it, it's like, oh yeah, that's stuff the white people
See,
be
but
doing.
I
that's
always
good
had a problem with Caucasity Audacity.
Okay.
Let's be honest, because it's redundant. Because Caucasity
It's already Audacity?
is the audacity. Because you see what I'm saying? Like
You're
it's
saying the word should mean the audacity of Caucasians.
exactly. That's what Caucasity
Right,
is.
right,
You see what I'm saying? I
How
had a problem
dare
with it,
you.
but I never really
But the
got
thing
into
is,
it.
the reason when you read it, it jumps out more when you read Caucasian.
Yeah,
because the
yeah.
alliteration.
Now, but did there become a time where you guys went from? I'm not saying it was ever being taken seriously, but where you started kind of openly treating it more jokey.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There was a term.
No,
right?
yeah, no. I think so when I started, I was freelancing, and we had a good part of the staff that we have now. But as we've hired a couple of more full-time people, shout out to everybody over there: Danny, Janae, David, Alex, Aisha, Rebecca. I don't want to leave anybody out. I'm probably gonna leave somebody out. They're gonna be mad. But
I love Aisha.
yeah, Aisha is my homie. Yeah, shout out to everybody over there, man. We're all, I think we all just figured like, okay, this is what's working for us now.
Is taking it all with like a little.
Yeah, so now it's like lean into it. Like don't fight it. Like give the people what they play the hits. Don't get on stage and be like, I want to do a new song for y'all. Nobody wants to hear the new song. We want to hear the hits. Like that's
And
what
people coming here to laugh. They're not coming here to get the most serious
No,
story.
not at all. And over the past, I'd say 3 or 4 years, the amount of quote unquote serious news people who follow us regularly and retweet us and love us are political activists, politicians, Congress people, mainstream news people, and everyone's following Bossip because they just want to come and laugh at headlines.
And having a lighter take on serious things is helpful.
Yeah.
You know, we get inundated with so much shit where you want to be mad and angry, and having somebody put some crazy headline together about a story you may even already know.
Yeah.
But there's a funny take on it. It's enjoyable.
Well, that's part of the thing too, right? Like as a website, you know, most of the black entertainment gossip news has gone to Instagram now. And we're probably one of the last websites that's still standing from all of that time ago. Most of those sites from 2006, 2007 are defunct.
Do people still go to Media Takeout, or is that a wrap?
I don't think so. I haven't heard anyone even say that name in a very long time.
We just actually brought it up. It took when the Wendy stuff started rolling out recently.
Right, that's why it was on my mind.
We were actually like, yo, what was that site that was like?
See what I'm saying? Like,
and we were like, oh, Media Takeout, and she, that was a spinoff of what she did on the radio mostly. Right. And I don't think people are checking for it anymore.
No, and all of the sites are talking about the same material, but I feel like you can only come to Bossip to get it in the way that we give it to you. And at this point, there's mainstream sites and other black sites that kind of want this same style. Our mentions are full every day of people like, yo, cut that out. That's some Bossip stuff.
Interesting. So y'all got like the Bossip stands.
Yeah, the people that love us, that know like this is our style.
You guys have like a gang, like a mob? Is it like
we don't have a name. We need a good name.
You need like a hashtag.
I usually refer to them just as Bossip Fam because that's what it's been. But we need something a little bit more like.
If your hashtag is Bossip Fans,
that
is such a letdown compared to what your
fam. Yeah. But even still, we want something a little. Yeah. Something punchy that we can.
Smithereens?
The Smithereens.
It's a little long though.
Fire, bro.
It sounds like one of them groups that you have to wear like a satin tie and like do a shuffle. Yeah.
Smithereens sounds like a punk band.
The Smithereens. Yeah. You get like a dope like vintage rock T-shirt.
Yeah,
like Smithereens on the Smithereens. Yeah, I can see that.
It's actually not bad.
That's pretty good.
Although they almost changed it from EENS to INES, like they're Marines almost. Like it's like
now you went too far.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Look, they may even post you on their site now. You're white. You'll be one of the few white guys because you came up with Smithereens. They get posted on Bossip a lot.
No,
white guy tries to steal.
What would the headline be for?
For Rosenberg trying to.
For me trying to
mayonnaise maniac.
Yeah. That's a good question. What would be the headline?
Maniac?
That might work. Like that might be like the prefix. It might be like mayonnaise maniac, and it might be like clout chasing disc jock Jack's Bossip style stuff. I don't know. Like
it was something like an ostrich egg or some sort of other.
You could be a softball ostrich egg. You could be a softball. I think that would apply. Like I think the Teddy Perkins fans would be like, yeah, Rosenberg. People that hate Rosenberg, he's absolutely a softboard ostrich egg. I've been saying that for years. Now someone put a name to it. Yeah, I can see that.
How often do you use soft-boiled ostrich egg?
That was the only time.
Just one time.
Wow,
because I wrote that headline the week after the Teddy Perkins episode of that's when the Taylor Swift did that cover.
Right.
And it was just on my mind. I was like, we've been calling white people mayo and these things, and I was like Birkenstocks and other kind but I'm like, what can we say that's a little bit more unique that's still white, that's kind of like gross and disgusting? And I was like, oh, softboard ostrich egg was pretty gross and disgusting. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna roll with this one.
Now here's the thing. Are there ever times too, like a lot of time, let's be honest, at this point it feels like 40-50% of the headlines are about how someone did something and your article is just about how Twitter reacts.
Yes.
Like a lot of it's like, and Twitter reacts.
And Twitter did this.
And it's pretty good, though.
And then it's just an excuse to kind of lay out the best tweets.
Hey,
that
man,
you guys
SEO,
find.
man. We got ads to sell, baby.
So,
wait. NCO, what's that mean?
SEO, search engine.
SEO,
Search engine
optimization.
We're trying to get these clicks moving.
Yeah.
Were people really that mad about Taylor Swift covering September?
Yeah, people
it was
were
September, right?
Yeah.
And you know why? I think she did it?
Because it's one of the most famous mainstream songs of all time.
But right before that, in Trolls, the movie Trolls that my daughter watches all the time, Justin Timberlake and the girl in Troll, September, it's in the song. Do you remember? Like, it's one of the big songs in the movie Trolls. So I think it got popular. Is Trolls Disney? Or DreamWorks?
DreamWorks. I think it's DreamWorks, yeah.
It got popular with kids and kind of, with
I didn't
the
realize
soccer moms
that.
and shit.
Elmer Glueface, Justin Timberlake already did
Well,
September?
for the movie, in the movie, there's
Got
a
it, not in real
version
life.
for the movie, not in real life, but there's a version in the movie
For that.
Trolls.
Right, okay.
Right? And I just, like maybe a few months ago, showed Issa Earth, Wind, and Fire doing it. And she'll be like, Daddy, what's that band? Play me the original, because I'm trying to teach her the originals of things, right? But I think that's why Taylor probably thought it was a good idea to do it for her
I'm just surprised
audience.
anyone would be that mad. I guess it's just the things that people get mad about.
No, it's just not good. It wasn't good. It had
it was literally
Got it.
It was the most whitewashed version of that song you could possibly. Like I think it started with an acoustic guitar, and people were just. I woke up that morning and I was like, Taylor Swift is trending. Why? September is trending. Why? And I sat on the toilet and looked, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna cook her.
And this was
While taking a shit.
While taking a shit, I want to cook Taylor
Hey,
Swift.
that's where this song belongs. This is where I am right now.
That's exactly what I told the New York Times when they called and asked about it.
So what did the New York Times ask you?
They wanted to talk to all of us and just the sensation of Bossip headlines and just talk about the process of writing it and how you go about coming up with these things and is there a group effort and all that kind of stuff. And I told them the same thing I told y'all. Like, everyone's responsible for their own stuff. A lot of times, if someone needs help or someone wants an opinion about something, of course we'll, think tank it or whatever and go out. But for the most part, like, everyone can come up with this kind of foolishness on their own.
I love it.
I got to tell you, it's very, very entertaining.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Now, the transition, as you pointed out, from people checking out sites to now checking out the Instagram, the shade rooms, what's the other one? Baller Alert.
Right.
How have you guys made adjustments? Is this part of the adjustment to just make sure that you guys are offering something that people can't get somewhere else?
I think that happened naturally.
Okay.
But I think it definitely helped in keeping our brand alive on a different social media platform because none of those sites are popping on Twitter. I don't remember ever seeing anybody really retweet a Shade Room article on Twitter.
On Instagram.
It's just on Instagram. People are commenting, they go and do their thing on Instagram. And I'm sure they have an Instagram page, but it's just not the same level of engagement.
Are you starting beef with them right now? Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean,
anybody
you
want smoke?
Anybody who wants it can get it.
Headline smoke?
But like that's not like what I'm here for.
But it just sounded like when I asked about them, you made sure to point out that they were whack on Twitter as well.
I mean, there's a lot of people that's whack on Twitter that
but we're just talking about Shade Room and Shade Room.
I mean,
and
we
Baller
don't.
Alert.
I don't think we as much about them. We work with them, so they're cool.
Oh, y'all get along.
I think the only person that we had it wasn't even smoke. We were just kind of playing with them. Was like the Root. So like the
Really?
Root, more often than not, that's who will bite our style, and then people will hit us up like, "Yo, y'all do you? Y'all supposed to be straightforward, whatever,
I thought
whatever."
the Root was more serious.
Yeah, it was a more serious thing. I mean, they have straightforward journalists working for the Root, and so when they get
See, it's black on black crime. Y'all can't be beefing. Isn't Aruba?
I mean, if a black person comes to your house and steals your stuff, you're gonna call the cops on that black person.
You should say something, but we need to iron this out. We don't need Bossip in the room.
Oh nah, no. We sent. This was around the time when
culture.
Drake and Pusha T were beefing when this thing went down. So we sent them an invoice and we just played with it.
Ebro, all businesses have beef. Who's Bossip can have beef with? Fox News? It's a different. You know what I'm saying? They're competing over the same.
They're just
I would love to
protecting
have
their
beef with Fox
Smithereens.
News.
That would be
though.
incredible.
It would be
Can you imagine the
amazing.
headline you just write?
Oh, listen, like
What does Tommy Loren get called?
we've called Tommy Loren everything. I think Danny called Tommy Loren an uncooked quinoa clump.
Amazing.
That's so good.
We have called
Never even thought
her
about quinoa in a
Quinoa.
clump.
all types of tomato low rent, tampon lasagna,
Okay.
all
That's
kinds
gross.
of like we've called Tommy
Tampon
Lauren
lasagna
like
is. I might run with that.
I was actually hoping we were gonna beef for her last week because she retweeted the article that we did when the game spazzed out on her, and I was hoping that something was gonna come of that, and I ran down like our top 10 Tommy Lauren hits. It was like a 15 tweet thread of all our greatest hits, and people loved it.
Yo, look, his name is Jason Jolly, Hip Hop Obama. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me,
imparting
man.
some insight on what happens in the Bossip hallways to create such cool shit.
Good looking,
man.
bro.
And we're
Yeah,
fans.
absolutely.
We're fans of the headlines. We
Well,
love
thank
them.
you. Thank you.
Y'all give it up one time, man.
Yeah.
Check out Bossip if you got time for a good laugh.
Yeah, man.